Okay, everybody, welcome back. Here, it is our third session of epistemology, philosophy in English. Welcome, everybody, and we are starting right now. So I hope you all have had a very nice day. And now we're starting the page number 19 of the PDF and actually 7 of the book. Please open it up. And here we go. Belief. So you remember the last time we were talking about different sorts of beliefs. And before that, we were talking about justification. Right now, we're concerned with belief and the truth. So there are three main traditionally considered as the elements of a theory of justification, or let's say epistemic justification, three-party theory of knowledge, let's say. So it is belief, it is justification, and it is truth. So people are joining right now. They're supposed to be on time, but they are not. It's all good. So remember that we said, like the previous sessions, that traditionally a theory of knowledge consisted of three main elements: belief, justification, and the truth. So the belief part is considered as the subjective element of knowledge, and the truth is considered as the objective element of knowledge. So in this session, and probably the next one, we will be concerned with the subjective element and the objective element of knowledge. However, you should know that traditionally theories of knowledge are mostly concerned with justification, actually, not with the belief and with the truth. But they are mostly considered, let's say, discussed in philosophy of language and many other fields. But justification is probably the main concern of the epistemologists, at least on the traditional side. So let's start reading it. So just take a look at the bottom line of the page number 7. Here we go. We are starting right now. Okay, belief. Whenever we consider a proposition, there are three different attitudes we can take towards it, right? And we have Zahra Sadeh joined us again. So let's change her access level to an operator. Okay. So whenever we consider a proposition, there are three different attitudes we can take toward it. First, we can believe it or accept as it is true. So just a little bit of a caveat. Acceptance and belief are in a very, let's say, technical meaning are actually different. But for the sake of the beginning of epistemology, they are not really different. For us, they are not really different. But if you're very technical, acceptance and belief are two different mental states, right? So, but we are not going to touch that right now. First, we can believe it or accept it as true. Second, we can disbelieve it, i.e. believe that it is false or believe its negation. Third, we can withhold belief in it or suspend the judgment. So let me give you a few examples. If I'm talking about that this is a hand, right? This is a proposition, right? This is a hand. I accept it or I believe that this is true. It is true that this is a hand. However, if I'm talking about that right now I'm sitting in London, that will be false. I'm right now sitting in Isfahan. I'm in Iran. So I disbelieve it in a way. I believe that this is false. However, if you ask me a question about the life on Mars, do you believe that life exists on Mars or not? I just simply don't know. I don't know it is true. I don't know whether it is false, right? So I kind of suspend the judgment. I don't know. I just don't know, right? So there are three, let's say, attitudes that one can take toward a proposition, right? To believe it or accept it as true, to disbelieve it, to believe that it is false, or to suspend the judgment, like I don't know, right? Third, we can withhold belief in it or suspend the judgment. We may illustrate three attitudes by reflecting on attitudes of the theist, the atheist, the agnostic toward the proposition that God exists. Muhammad says, hi guys, I'm at work and I'm listening. I can't speak since, okay, it's all fine. Don't worry about it. So for some unknown reason, we are just obsessed with this kind of highly religious examples. You remember that the last time we brought them up, we were cursed. Now the author brings it up. So we may illustrate these attitudes by reflecting on the attitudes of the theist, the atheist, and the agnostic toward the proposition that God exists. So consider the proposition that God exists, right? So the sentence that God exists, let's say, hints towards this proposition that God exists, right? And you may be a religious person and believe that this is true. So you believe that God exists, or that the God exists is true. You may disbelieve it, or they say, well, God does not exist. So you're an atheist if you hold that. Or you may be an agnostic, say, well, I don't know, right? So that would be an agnostic attitude toward the proposition that God exists, right? Yeah, 19, okay. It's all good, don't worry about it, man. The theist accepts the proposition, the atheist disbelieves it, and the agnostic withholds belief in it. And actually, in the history of philosophy, all of these three propositions, let's say these attitudes towards the proposition that God exists, has serious people that are defending those propositions. And we have Amir Subisi, he's joining us again. So Muhammad Uftafuzun says he cannot talk. Samane Farahani, open up your mic and continue, please, for me. Thanks. Samane, please open your mic and continue. Go to the next paragraph. Hi.
Okay. Can you just wait a minute? I'm sorry.
I can wait a minute. Yeah. Do you want me to continue, or okay? So you don't want to talk right now, right? Okay. Masoud Sabz Najat, please continue. Next paragraph.
Okay. As we noted earlier, we may think of belief as a propositional attitude, as a relation between a subject and a proposition. There are, of course, many propositional attitudes in addition to belief. Hope, fear, doubt, and desire are just some ways in which one may be related to a proposition. Consider the proposition that it will rain. In addition to believing that it will rain, one can hope, fear, doubt, or desire that it Doubt. Oh, okay. Okay, I have to read the next paragraph.
Probably you have to tell me what does it mean. What's your understanding of this whole paragraph?
Okay. It is saying that there are some other propositional attitudes than just accepting or rejecting or being agnostic, relating to some belief, and we can, for example, have hope or fear or doubt or desire about a proposition. There are some other ways too,
right? Or maybe
all of them are subjective. Yes, all of them are subjective, I think.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, that's I guess it's a very, it is not the best judgment at the moment to say that all of them are subjective. But what do you mean by subjective propositional attitude? What do you mean by that?
It's completely depends on the person who have fear or hope or fear are completely related to the person.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you say. However, you can say that some of the mental attitudes are factive in the sense that their truth does not depend on the subject's, let's say, feelings and stuff. It is they hold it because it is true, right? And some other mental attitudes are just the case because you want it to be, like wishful thinking, like wishing something, right? But I'm not really sure that all of the mental attitudes, propositional attitudes, are subjective, except knowing. I'm not really sure about that. However, you could be right. I don't know. I don't know. But that was actually a nice take. That was a nice take. So continue, please.
Okay. Believing a proposition needs to be distinguished from other propositional attitudes, such as entertaining and considering a proposition. Excuse me, I have to go for a second.
Okay, it's all fine. Samane, are you ready? Samane Farahani.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're opening your let's say video as well. Yeah, I mean you only have to open your mic.
I opened my webcam because I think you asked me to present my presentation, so I opened my webcam.
I mean,
And then
yeah,
I understand you wanna to continue the text. And
yeah,
so
you will have the presentation for the second half of this whole session, right? For the second, but right now you have to answer the questions. So go ahead and read the next paragraph for me.
Okay. I'm sorry, which paragraph?
So it is believing a preposition, page number 8. Believing a preposition needs to be distinguished from other prepositionalities, such as entertaining.
Okay. I will. Sorry. Okay. Believing a preposition needs to be distinguished from other prepositional attitudes, such as entertaining and considering a preposition. To entertaining a preposition is merely to hold it before the mind. To consider a preposition...
Merely, Samone. To entertain a preposition is merely to hold it before the mind. Go ahead.
To consider a preposition is to entertain it and to study or examine it. One can entertain or consider a preposition without believing it. I can now, for example, entertain and consider the preposition that the earth is cubed with believing it. One can also believe something without entertaining or considering it. This morning, for example, I believed that the earth was round, but I did not entertain or consider that preposition.
Okay. Stop here, please. Just go ahead and tell me what is this paragraph is all about. Paraphrase it for me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's about when we consider a preposition, there are different between entertaining and considering a preposition. To entertain a preposition, am I wrong?
I mean, entertaining a preposition and considering a preposition pretty much mean the same thing. That's why there's an or between them. So you're entertaining some preposition, I mean, you're considering whether it is right or not, but you're not really sure about it. You don't know whether it is correct or it is not correct or it is incorrect. You're not decided. You're undecided. You're just entertaining it. You're just considering it, right? So that is considering a preposition. But it says that you can consider a preposition, and it gives you examples, and it gives you examples of you can believe or hold something to be the case while not entertaining it at all. Like, give me some examples. Like, tell me how they are different, or what is your understanding of this dichotomy?
Here, I think he gave an example, which he said that he consider Earth to be a cube, and he doesn't believe it. But in another case, in another example, he believed that the Earth was round, and it's a kind of something that it's true or false. It doesn't matter, but we believe it, and we, it's about us. But some other propositions are not about us, or they don't, they don't have any relation with our believing, our beliefs. Maybe we can believe it or not.
Ready to give me someone? Are you okay? Great. Are you ready to give me another example? So just give me an example that is not extracted from the text. Like, give me a commonsensical example that you produced it yourself.
Yeah. For example, Aristotle think that a humankind can speak and sing, and if some entity cannot sing and speak, even if he's a human, I think Aristotle cannot consider that person as a humankind.
Aristotle. You mean you're talking about Aristotle?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Would you give me like a commonsensical example, like an example which is not highly philosophical? Like, give me an example that we see it in everyday life.
Okay. So I can say that this phone screen is black. Okay,
right.
It's black. I can consider it black, or someone. That's it. I can consider it a black, but it's not about my belief that I believe that it is black. Maybe I can believe that this screen of this phone is black. And it's about my belief. Maybe I can believe that, no, it's not black, it's gray. But when we want to consider it, we said it's black, and that's it.
Yeah. So basically, probably what you mean is that when you're considering its color, you're not still decided about it. You don't know, right? You're just considering what color it is. Mm-hmm. But if you believe in something, you probably you pass the phase. Sometimes you considered it before, or sometimes you just believe in something without even knowing, without even considering. For example, you believe that you are some material person. You're built of, let's say, atoms, right? Mm-hmm. Or you never think about it. Like, it's something that you assume every day. Like, you don't really think, well, I'm made of atoms, or like there are particles inside my body. You never think of it, but you kind of assume it all the time. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's just like a belief without considering sometimes. Yeah. But thank you very much, Samara. That was very good, very good. That was very good. So, Amir Reza, would you please continue this for me? Amir Reza.
Greetings to you. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. I think it's left from we all believe a great many things.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
We all believe a great many things that we are not entertaining or considering. These beliefs are said to be dispositional beliefs. My belief this morning that the earth is round was a dispositional belief. When we believe some proposition that we are entertaining, then our belief is said to be a current belief. Since I'm now entertaining the proposition that the earth is round, my belief that the earth is round is a current belief.
Okay. So would you summarize this paragraph for me? Tell me. This is not really something very serious. However, it's a nice dichotomy. Would you give me some commonsensical paraphrase of this whole thing? Give me fresh examples, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me try to put it in a correct order. I can't grasp any special meaning from the paragraph.
Okay.
1 second, please.
Okay, it's all fine. You have the time. You can read it again if you like.
Yeah, I'm reading. It takes only 10 seconds.
Okay.
Well, it says when we believe a proposition that we hold it in our mind, that belief is a current belief, and the proposition that Earth is round is a current belief. Really, I can't grasp the meaning. I think.
So probably we need to ask a friend of yours to help you with that, right?
Yeah.
Muhammad Naderi, open up your mic for me, please. Sorry, today I can't speak. Okay. Apparently not a lot of people can speak today. Right? So, no, it's all fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Zahra Sadazadeh, could you talk right now? So Zahra said that she cannot talk as well. My mic doesn't work today. I'm sorry. So not a lot of people left to talk. So Amir Reza, we're gonna read it together. Probably not a lot of people left.
Sure, but can I make a guess? I think I can guess something. When it says there are many things, a great deal of things that we do not consider them in our minds, they are dispositional beliefs. This means that they are true if we face with them, but we do not face with them often. They are dispositional beliefs.
That's a definition, actually. What is written on the first sentence is just a definition. So there are a lot of things that basically hiddenly we believe in, right? That we don't consider. We had a lot of examples. For example, we said that I'm made of atoms. Obviously, any material object is made of atoms. But you never think of it, right? You never say, well, this is made of atoms, my hand is made of atoms. You never think about it. But you basically hold those beliefs. They are dispositional. Right?
Yeah.
These are dispositional beliefs. My belief this morning that the earth is round was a dispositional belief, right? When we believe some proposition that we are entertaining, then our belief is said to be an occurrent belief. Actually, right? So when we believe some proposition that we are entertaining, right? So you consider it and then you come to a belief, that's called an occurrent belief. Well, give me an example then, Amireza.
Yeah, you made a relation between dispositional belief and occurrent belief. You told when we bring them in our mind and we entertain those beliefs, the belief will be an occurrent belief.
Oh, but no, I mean, a dispositional belief is a belief that is there like a disposition, right? You don't really consider it. But if there is something that you already don't know, you entertain it, you consider it, and then you come to believe it, it's called an occurrent belief. Like if I'm talking about the people behind this door, right? You don't know. You don't believe that there are people behind this door. But I'm telling you that there is nobody behind this door. Now you come to believe, right? Now you trust me. You consider my testimony as an evidence, as a good reason, and you come to the belief that there is nobody behind this door. So now this is an occurrent belief.
Yeah, I got it.
Right? Yeah? Yeah, so give me a fresh example then.
Okay. A fresh example. I tell you, many people in Iran are not satisfied with the government services.
Yeah.
This is a testimony from me. And then
Okay.
you ask around about this proposition, and many people tell you, yeah, he is right. Then it becomes an occurrent belief for you.
Yeah, okay. Actually, you know, Amireza, that this whole session is being recorded, right?
No, it's not a political statement. It's
Okay,
just
right. Yeah, it's just something that the people say.
Yeah.
That was great. I love that. That was great. That was great.
They say
Would you like to continue?
مثل مناقشه نیست. Yeah.
Yeah. Who can argue? Nobody can argue with that. Go ahead and continue. Go to the next paragraph then.
Sure. Having a dispositional belief needs to be distinguished from a disposition to believe something.
Very
There are
nice.
many propositions that we do not know, that we do not now believe, but are such that we would believe them if we considered them.
Yeah, so we have a disposition to believe in them, right? We have a disposition to believe in them. However, we don't. So dispositional belief is different from a disposition to believe something.
Yeah.
Okay, please. Okay.
Someone might never have considered the proposition that no elephant is a neurosurgeon and might not believe that proposition.
Right.
Well, still, he might be such that he would believe that proposition if he considered it.
Right. So if you would come to the belief that basically no elephant is a surgeon. Obviously, no elephant is playing chess. But that's a very silly thing to say, right? You don't really believe in it. You would believe that this is highly incorrect, obviously incorrect. But you have a disposition to believe that this is incorrect, right? So this is not a dispositional belief. This is a disposition to believe that something is incorrect. For example, if you say that the elephants are playing chess, probably you say you're on something, bro. If I ask you, do you believe that people behind, like elephants behind this door are playing chess? You would say probably you're on something. So you have a disposition to believe that this is incorrect, right?
Yeah,
so this is
I
a
got
disposition
it.
to believe something. It's different from a dispositional belief.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Yeah. Please continue, please.
It's now clear to me. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Still, he might be such that he would believe that proposition. Yeah, okay, I read it. He would have a disposition to believe that proposition, even if he didn't have a dispositional belief in it.
Yeah, right. You would never, basically, you don't have a dispositional belief that no elephant is playing chess. I mean, you never thought about it. You never considered it, right? But you would, in a fraction of a second, you would probably say, obviously, yeah, right? So that's a disposition to believe. Go ahead.
I believe
Please.
that the statements which are disposition to believe are crystal clear not to be true.
Yeah, Right. Or sometimes crystal clear that they are true. For example, if I ask you, well, two books are a combination of two books, two individual books, you would say, obviously, yeah. Why would you even say it? Right. Or if I tell you, if I'm drinking water, I'm drinking H2O. We'll say, yeah. Well, you have a disposition to believe that this is correct, right? But you don't have the dispositional belief that if Mo is drinking water, then he is drinking H2O. You would know it, right? So you have a disposition to believe that this is correct, but you don't have a dispositional belief that if Mo is drinking water, then he is drinking H2O. It is so obvious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Amir. So that was a great presentation. So next person, let's see who is talking basically. And Masoud said, so this is a subset of paragraph. Very much, very nice, very nice. Masoud, now you said it, please continue reading it. Masoud Sabz Najat.
Yeah, I have to read from where? From let's conclude.
Yeah.
Okay, let's conclude this brief discussion by making 2 points. First, according to the traditional JTB account of knowledge, what is JTB? I don't know.
Justified true belief. Knowledge is justified through the tripartite theory of knowledge, the traditional view.
Okay. First, according to the traditional JTB account of knowledge, knowledge that P requires that one believe that P, we may say that knowledge requires either a current or dispositional belief.
Okay.
So it means that
you're talking about what kind of belief you're talking about when it is concerned with the traditional theory of knowledge, right? So when we say it's a justified true belief, we're talking about the different sorts of belief. We are in like the other sorts of beliefs. We're just talking about either a dispositional or an occurrent. Like you consider a proposition, you come to a belief, or something that you already know, like the common sense. Right?
So justified true belief is dispositional or occurrent belief.
Yeah. So epistemology of belief itself is a huge discussion in epistemology. You don't have to, let's say, get your hands dirty in that, because that's huge. That literature around that is huge, right? You don't want to go there. It's just like highly complicated. But for the moment, this is the first course in epistemology. You have to know when you're talking about justified true beliefs, right? We're talking about either the current beliefs or the dispositional beliefs, right?
Okay.
Continue.
Thus, we can say, I knew this morning that the earth was round, even though my belief...
Even though
my belief in that proposition was dispositional. I knew
so
this.
Even you don't really consciously, you didn't know it consciously. It was a dispositional belief. However, that's a subject of epistemology as well. So you basically can claim knowledge even though your belief is dispositional. That's a very important point, right?
I didn't understand.
So we can claim knowledge even though we are not consciously considering that. For example, your knowledge of grammar. Sometimes you really don't know the details of grammatical points, like tacit knowledge. They are hidden. It's dispositional. However, there are instances of knowledge. It's a very important point, though. Masoud, are you here?
Okay.
Yeah? Yes. Even though the belief is hidden, it is dispositional. It is not really consciously, it didn't come to the belief or something. You just know it. It's hidden. However, you can claim knowledge to that. Knowledge of grammar. That's an instance of knowledge. It's a very important point, though. If you are talking about commonsensical beliefs, many of them are dispositional. However, you claim knowledge. You will say, I know it. I knew it. Right? It's a knowledge claim. Today, people are not really raising points. They are not discussing things together. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm so busy. Did you come home? Are you ready to talk?
Yes. Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, great. Great. So would you like to take over, finish this whole paragraph for us, please?
Okay. Where are we now? Now if knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if knowledge requires belief, and belief comes in a varying degree of.
Wait. Where are you reading, Amir? Wait a minute. From thus, page 9. Thus.
Okay. Shall I start the next part, because I was not completely actually.
So all right, I'm with you. So Sadaf Najad, would you please continue, finish this thing, and then Amir will give. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Second, belief ranges in intensity or strength from complete and firm conviction.
Firm conviction.
Conviction to tentative and cautious acceptance.
Sometimes you believe something very firmly.
So there are some levels of strength.
Yeah, strength. Let's say, yeah, it's in Persian. If people here know some Islamic philosophy, they say maqul bi tashkik, right? It comes in degrees.
You have my voice now.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, we do.
Yes.
Welcome, Zah.
Yeah.
Great. Very firm or very sure about something. It's tentative. They tend to believe this and that and that. It's tentative. So knowledge could be considered from a variety of viewpoints. One of them is from the firmness, from the strength of the belief, right? So sometimes you believe something very firmly, very strongly. Sometimes you're just tentative. You're not very sure about it. You're just you have a cautious acceptance, right? It's different. So from that viewpoint, you can make a distinction between different levels of belief, right? Go ahead, Masood. Continue, please. Firmly.
Firmly. Okay. Thus, one might be firmly and strongly convinced that God exists, or one might accept it with some weaker degree of conviction.
Yeah.
Now, if knowledge requires belief and belief comes in varying degrees of intensity, is there some degree of intensity of belief that is required for knowledge? According to the traditional view, knowledge simply requires justified true belief. As long as one believes that P and the other conditions are met, then one knows that P, whether the intensity of one's belief.
Okay, great. Yeah, great. I think I have to ask people a lot of questions. First, we have something, Amir Reza. You said.
Oh, because I want to understand what it is saying. Okay.
Yeah, great. Yeah, because very cautious about it. However, you come to believe it, right?
Yeah.
They are different. But the question is, the classical theory of knowledge says knowledge is justified through belief.
Okay.
The question is there a level of intensity, of a strength that is required for the subject to know?
I mean, but do we need? You mean how much strength do we need to accept?
To claim knowledge. If you know that something, I mean, if you cautiously believe something, is this still a belief? Is this still a knowledge?
No, actually, it depends on it depends on your theory. For example,
the question is based on the classical theory, JTB.
Okay. Actually, I should answer according to this passage or by myself.
Yeah. You can answer according to this passage, and then you have your own take on it.
I think yes, logically, it needs that now. I don't say by the rule of logic. No. I mean that logically it needs. But actually, I'm in a sense of ambiguous now about knowledge. Do you mean that? For example, when we want to examine actually a proposition that is actually scientific or not, we have a lot of actually attitude. We have a lot of theory to examine that proposition. Is it scientific or not? But actually about knowledge, I don't have many information about this. Yeah.
Okay.
I can speak about science if you want.
Okay. سامان فراهانی. Saman, would you please paraphrase this for me and tell me what is your take on it, please?
From now, if knowledge, from there?
Like from, let's conclude this. I mean, we have like this paragraph right here, right?
Yeah.
I want you to paraphrase this for me and have your own view and tell me what does this whole paragraph mean and what the author says, and do you agree with the author?
Sorry, I just want to see whole the text for a second.
Yeah, you can go ahead and read it out loud for the people, because it was a complicated paragraph for everybody. So probably you can read it again for everybody, like loud. Yeah, read it loud, please.
Okay. I think here, as he wrote, there. This just paragraph wants to tell about the whole text about beliefs in a just briefly way, and here it starts with two main idea, which is first of them. Is about, according to the traditional LGBT account of knowledge that P requires that, is about when someone believes in something, and I think the other one was that which when we consider or entertain something. Yeah, is it about their this?
I guess that was discussed in the previous paragraphs, but right now we are discussing the last paragraph. Actually, let me read it for everybody again, and then it's necessary to have a high level of intensity to be sure. Yeah, pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So let's conclude this brief discussion by making 2 points. First, according to the traditional JTB account of knowledge that's P requires that one believes that P. Only merely belief will be enough. We may say that knowledge requires either a current or dispositional belief. Thus, we can say, I knew this morning that the earth was round, even though my belief is in that proposition was dispositional. So I didn't even consider it, right? Second, and this is the part that we are discussing. This is let's say a controversial part that the people have questions about it. Second, belief ranges in intensity or a strength from complete and firm conviction to tentative and cautious acceptance, right? Thus, one might be firmly or strongly convinced that God exists, or one might accept it with some weaker degree or conviction. For example, if you ask probably your father or your grandma, they are very sure that God exists and all of those things. But probably you are more cautious about it. If you read some philosophy and your philosophy of religion, you probably say that, well, we are not completely sure, but we have a cautious belief, or we accept blah, blah, blah. You come up with kind of complicated theories. However, the question is, do we need that firm conviction, that P, in order to claim knowledge that P? Classical theory, that's the question. Thus, one might be firmly and strongly convinced that God exists, or one might accept it with some weaker degree of conviction. Now, if knowledge requires belief and beliefs come in varying degrees of intensity, is there some degree of intensity of belief that is required for knowledge? That's the question. According to traditional view, knowledge simply requires justified true belief. As long as one believes that P and the other conditions are met, then one knows that P, whatever the intensity of the one's belief, right? So Zahra Sadegh-Zadeh. I was just about to ask you the question. So go ahead.
I want to go ahead and paraphrase this. Okay. I think he distinguished between two kind of different belief, occurrent beliefs and occurrent proposition and dispositional proposition, and say they are many different kind of degree of beliefs. Some of them are strange and some of them are weaker, but it's not important in the classic view of JTB that the belief is occurrent or dispositional, and it's not it is weaker or stranger. They define justified belief as a proposition that someone knows that P is Q, and they I understand this. Is it correct?
Okay, yeah. Master Sadegh, I think you have something to say. Go ahead and tell us.
Yes, I think we have, as I know about epistemology, we have two different kinds of beliefs, or I can say we have three kind of them. Some of them, we know some of them by our experiences, and some of them by our reasonable thinking. And the third part are the beliefs that we have just because we heard them somewhere. We heard them, we read it in a book, or we heard it somewhere. For example, I don't know, I didn't examine the population of our country by myself. I just heard it somewhere and I accepted it. So we have these three kinds of beliefs, and I think the beliefs that we have with our experiences, because of our experiences, are the most intense and the strongest ones. When we experience something, for example, when we see something, or when we hear something, or for example, we have some spiritual experience somewhere. For example, we come to a spiritual place and we pray to I don't know what is shafa gereftan in English.
Getting healed.
Exactly, getting healed, and then we see that it happened. Then we can't accept any reason which are against this belief, because we experienced it and we saw it by our eyes, and it's not possible to accept any reason which is which has conflict with this idea. So our experiences are the most intense and the strongest ones for ourselves, but we can't talk about these beliefs with other people, because the mutual thing between mutual thing between the people is our reasoning and our minds.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, can I ask you something? Give me examples from common sense. I mean, you're talking about like getting healed or something. I've never experienced somebody getting healed, right? Me personally, or maybe I'm a very bad guy, or maybe I'm not really touched by the gods or whatever. So give me examples from common sense, please. So, for example, if I'm talking about that this is a hand, right? This is a hand. The earth, the earth is revolving around sun. Or like, let's say this is a hand. I love this degenerate example. Okay, if you ask me about this, I'm very sure of it. This is a hand, obviously. If somebody say otherwise, I probably doubt their vision. I would say probably you can't see correctly. Or if I'm writing something on the board and I ask the people to read it for me, but they read something completely different, I would say you probably can't read well, right? So this is very, very a firm conviction that this is a hand. I mean, I'm not sure of anything more than this is a hand, or I'm some guy sitting on a chair in a physical world. I mean, this is probably you're sure of it too. I'm pretty much sure of it. If somebody doesn't believe in those things, I would probably say probably there's something wrong with them, right? So these are commonsensical beliefs. I'm very sure of those things. But if you ask me something about the population of the world, I'm not really sure of that. Probably I can have a guess, like, I don't know, 8 billion or something. I don't know, but I can have a guess. I have like a cautious estimation. I'm not really sure of a particular number. So that would be a less firm degree of a belief, right? So here's the question, according to the text. According to the JTB theory of knowledge, justified true belief, is there a level intensity that is required for a normal subject to come to know that something? Right? That's the question. So according to some philosophical theories, like let's say one that you have in Islamic philosophy, you have to be sure of something in order to know it. To claim knowledge, you have to be sure. They say yaqeen bil-ma'na al-akhas, which means that you have to be sure of it and you have to be sure that the negation will never happen. But that's not what commonsensical view of knowledge or the traditional view of knowledge would say. You only have to believe that P in order, if the other conditions are met, in order to know that P, right? So even like if caution acceptance could be enough for one to know that P. You may have a different take, right? You can have your own view, but according to the classical theory of knowledge, you don't have to have a strong, or let's say an intensified belief in order to know that something. That's what the text says. Do you guys have anything to say? Do you have any,
is there
let's say,
okay, is there any example that we know something but we have not we don't have a strong belief in it? We have a weak belief and we know
pretty much every scientific claim that we have is we are not really sure of it, but this is our best bet. For example, if you ask me about any statistical reasoning, that will pretty much it's tentative. Like you tend to believe something, but you're not really sure of it. For example, if you talk about like how this kind of bell ring distribution, like most of the things are happening in the middle, but to the sides of the curve they go to they are not like that. So if you say that a medicine is good for a particular disease, that will be statistically correct, but mathematically that would not be correct. Probably it's not working on everybody. Almost all of our scientific knowledge falls under this category. You're not really sure of it, but this is your best bet. So that would be my answer.
Can I say something? Sorry.
Yeah, of course you can say something. Go ahead.
I think it really depends on the context that we are speaking. For example, if you speak if you say some prepositions, if you want to show some prepositions in science, yes, it is correct that it don't need actually very high level of intensity, because there are many actually scientists and their beliefs might be opposite.
Yeah, they disagree. They disagree.
Yeah, they disagree. But if you want to speak in, for example, context in kalam context.
In kalam context.
How can I say kalam? Kalam Islamic kalam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to be 100 per 100 actually intensity of
Yeah, why that's impossible? I mean, well, probably like the people, I think you're talking about the Islamic philosophy and the Islamic tradition, but they never had modern physics. They never had modern knowledge. They never had science. It was just like the people back in the day. They didn't have computers. They never had internet connection. So obviously they were sure of many things. Go ahead and give me an example.
For example, the principle of existence.
The principle of existence.
Yeah, the principle of existence in Islamic the Islamic philosophy. Actually, I don't know many things about Islamic philosophy.
I do. You got a master's in it.
Yeah, you are a master. Because I'm not interested in. You are interested in?
No.
Oh. But you have master in it.
I have a master's degree. I have an MA in Islamic philosophy. But I mean, almost anything, any argument coming out of it to me was just plainly wrong. It was just I couldn't really buy any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem of
I can't talk much.
Actually, I think it's boring. It's a kind of boring philosophy.
Okay, guys, this is getting very, very dangerous. So probably we need to stop it in here. So
no, it is not about the religion. It's about the philosophy. Okay. It's different.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I want to say the problem of existence. If you want to speak about the problem of existence, I think I'm not actually. I think you have to be. You have enough. How can I say? You have to have enough degree of intensity.
Okay. So that's your view.
Yeah.
That's your view. Yeah. I think scientific propositions are not the intense ones, maybe because we didn't experience them by ourselves. That's a nice point to discuss it, but probably for the next session, because we can have a couple of minutes. We have 5 minutes break, and then we come back, and someone will start talking. So I expect people asking her questions and a lot of discussion. So probably you can go have your coffee prepared for the next session of the day. So in 5 minutes, we are back in 5 minutes. Okay? بچه 5 دقیقه دیگه میام. من جز ببینم استوب بکنم. دست از سر فلسفه اسلامی و خدا و اینا هم ور دارید.
دست از سر ور می‌داریم و میریم سراغ سیاست. بکنم.
این داره ضبط میشه.
بحث سیاسی از بحث درباره خدا فکر کنم خیلی خطرناک‌تره.
نه آخه این که فلسفه اسلامی ها که نمیشه معادل مثلا خدا و اسلام و اینا قرار داد.
اینو برو تو امام صادق بگو.
مثلا یکی که با فلسفه اسلامی اوکی نیست، خب این دلیلش این نیست که مثلا با دین و نمیدونم خدا و پیغمبر اینا اوکی نباشه.
اتفاقا عمده فقهای اسلامی با فلسفه اسلامی مخالف بودن. اصلا دلیل تکفیرشون هم میگفتن اینا کافرن، چون تصویری که اینا از خداوند می اومدن بیان میکردن هیچ شباهتی با خدای سامی نداشته. مثلا تو قرآن هست که ان یشاء یذهبکم و یأتی بخلق جدید. آیه قرآن دیگه. اگه بخواد شماها رو میبره یه عده دیگه میاره. درسته؟ این آیه قرآن دیگه. ولی تو فلسفه اسلامی همه چی یا واجب به ذات یا واجب بالغیر دیگه. نمیتونه خداوند ببره یه عده دیگه. بعد میگفتن این چه جوری میشه همچین چیزی؟ میگفتن خداوند تعلیق به محال کرده. یعنی گفته اگه بخواد. نمیخواد چه.
محالا اگر بخواد.
بچه من برم میخوام قهوه‌مو بیارم برای جلسه سمانه، اجازه بدید من یه 2-4 دقیقه برم و بیام. باشه؟ وقت استراحت. Welcome back, everybody, and here we have the second part of our course. Now, Samane is presenting her stuff. Samane, please open your microphone, your video, and share your screen with everybody.
So as a start, Nietzsche has a phrase which he said that we have art in order not to die from the truth. But actually, there are difference between these truths which Nietzsche wants to say and the truths that we wanna talk about it. Here it's about kind of we have art in our lives, in our being, in our kind of activities and like poem, music, or other things, because truths in life are kind of dark, and we cannot handle it without art and the things that can make them kind of colorful. They make them colorful for us. But here in my presentation, which we had the truth in book, here it's this truth is a little bit different, because here we want to talk about the truth of a proposition. And so I just want to go the next page, which I don't know how to go. It's okay. First of all, I want to ask you a question. I think I can, I don't know, can I get help from other friends here?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, sure. Now the stage is yours. You can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, I want you to help me a little bit to give my presentation in a the best way I can. So I want to ask you this: what's your truth in your life? So who can answer it, and who want to answer it first? Like
what do you mean from this?
I think there are two, Zahra Sadiqzadeh, you can tell, and then I think someone, Masud Sadnejad, yeah.
Okay, if you want to find my definition, I am a human, and I'm a girl, and I am a student. And there are many other definitions that I can define myself by them, but I'm not sure that they are my truths or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's okay. Just give an example. What's your truth in your life, which you always take your steps with, considering that truth, or I don't know, whatever you can consider about your life.
I'm a student. It's my truth, I think. In every moment, I'm a student.
Okay, thank you. And I think the next one is Masud Sadnejad, yeah?
I wanted to say that I think I said it before in one of the previous sessions, that Kant says that there is a distinction between nomen and phenomenon, and nomen is the truth, and we don't have access to nomen. We just access phenomenon. We only see something from about anything. We don't have access to the real truth of that thing, which is the nomen.
Yeah. But actually there are some quotes from Shams, which Shams and Maulana, we know them, which he told that we always talk about other philosophers or scientifics or other people's ideas about what we want to talk about them, but what you want to say about that thing. And here, we know about the Kant's ideas, and that's so cool and that's so great. But what's your truth in your life, which when you want to take any step or take a step? Yeah.
I have a question. You mean what's the truth that I follow and pursue it in my life?
Exactly.
Exactly. I think you ask about the definition of myself. Okay. Just let others answer it because I talking.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Samana, your presentation is gone for some reason. I can't see.
I saw it and I don't know why it happened.
They probably need to reshare. Oh yeah, now we have it again.
Okay.
But it's the first page. It's the first page. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So Zahra said you were telling something?
No, I just want to let others to share their ideas.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, Master Sajid, you can continue.
No, I don't have anything to say.
You don't have any specific truths in your life?
You mean what I am? You are asking this question. Most of the people introduce themselves with their jobs. When you ask somebody that, for example, introduce yourself or who are you, they tell you what their job is, and it's very conventional. It is very common.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, I I wanna ask this question here because it was, I think, 3 days ago, and I was listening to a podcast, which is the podcast name is Overthink, which is a philosophical podcast. One of the professors in I don't know where, and actually I forgot it, but her name is Professor Ellen Anderson. She's a professor in a university, and she make those podcasts, and one of her podcasts is about truth, and actually your truth. And there she tells us that the fact is you're who you are, and this is your truth in a whole life. So here I ask it because we will continue this, and I make a relation between this truth and the propositional truth together. So if you don't have any question, we can move on, and I can just tell and explain the truths which we have in this book. So in this book, we have three different theories about truth. Which is about propositional truth, which that truth we have in proposition, how and to which propositions we can tell truth, and that's a true proposition or false. The first one, I think here, I don't know why, but my PowerPoint here is just I don't know how to say it. معکوس داره کار میکنه. مثلا یک این بر آورده بود.
Works in reverse.
Yeah. So first one, the first theory which we have in this book is about correspondence theory of truth. What does it mean? Who believe in that in this theory of truth? They have two main claims. One of them is a proposition is true if and only if it corresponds to fact. Like what? For example, if you wanted to, I don't know, mention something, when I want to say that this is a pen, and it's this proposition which I said that this is a pen, it can be true if and only if it's a fact. You know, if this is not a pen, if it's a pencil, so, and I tell that this is a pen, so my proposition is false. And the next one is a proposition is false if and only if it fails to facts. So as I give an example about this pen, and I said that this is a pen, this proposition that it's a pen, so if this is not a pen, if this is a, I don't know, like book, so this proposition will be false. But how can we define fact in this theory? So facts are something, I don't know, here it doesn't mention about that, but I think facts are something that we all agree about that. So I wanted to mention one of Wittgenstein's theory about the facts. Wittgenstein believed that When we wanted to tell something like this as a pen, it's about the usage of this thing. When we use it as a something to write, the usage of this is just writing with this one. And this usage give actually facts to things. So the fact of this pen is to write with it. You know, I don't know, I could answer it or no. Do you have any other questions, or you want me to explain it more?
Yes, Samanajam, because I think you define that the facts are the proposition that we all are agree about it, but I think
No, sorry, facts are not a proposition. No.
Okay,
but yeah, no. You know, facts are we have lots of facts in our world. For example, we I don't know how to, let me tell it like that.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Probably they can say the facts are the truth makers. What makes this proposition that this is a hand to be true is the fact that this is a hand.
In this theory, in this theory, they define facts or not, because when someone say that something is true if only it's a fact, so she or he is responsible to define fact, that what is fact. For example, we can say fact is the things that we can experience it by our sense, for example, or facts are something that they are reasonable, maybe, or not. I'm not sure. I don't know really.
Actually, I don't know, but I can say that the facts are which are they're obvious in our world. Like, do you agree that this is a pen? You agree with that?
Yes, we are that shape with that characteristics. They are pen.
So
but
this is a pen.
What about the existence of God? Is it a fact? For example, the God exists. The God exists or not?
Maybe ask this question from a philosopher. I'm just a student of philosophy, not a philosopher who can,
I just asked this question to clear this theory. I know that you don't know this, but I want to speak about it. Just don't worry.
Actually, yeah, we can speak about them, but these are philosophical, questions which, it's even the philosophers are just argue about that, and they have argued lots. They have a lots of argues about that. So, as a philosophy student, which I'm just, I don't see myself that much, big to can or to see that ability to talk about that. So, I think I prefer not to talk about that. So
just pass it. You can talk about it. You have the right that you talk about it, but if you don't like it, okay, just pass.
No. Actually, it's not about I don't like it. Actually, yeah, I like it, but and I never talk about them because I can never, it's something challenging, which kind of I prefer not to talk about them anywhere.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And this sentence is simply saying that the prepositional should matching something if it wants to be true.
I'm sorry. Somebody. Yes, Amir Reza probably wants to say something. I'm sorry. Amir Reza.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for setting my microphone. I wanted to say, in my belief, the facts are things that stay unchanged in different conditions. If something stays unchanged in terms of different factors, we can call it a fact. And everybody should acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's a really important point. Yeah, I agree. So I will continue this. The a case which they want to say that this theory, correspondence theory, is true. They said that the truth of a proposition or a belief is dependent on the facts or upon the way the world is, which we talk about that.
So, someone, can I make a comment about this previous slide, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that many people, let's say, credit this theory. It's been credited to Aristotle in a way, but that's actually, there are researchers that say that this is wrong. The person who articulated this theory, or let's say presented this theory first, was actually the Iranian philosopher Avicenna. So he is the main character who championed this theory, is actually Avicenna, the Iranian philosopher. So that is just the point that I wanted to. Probably the one who made this theory, let's say, articulate this theory the best, was not Aristotle. It was Avicenna, actually. So that's just a point, this random point. Sorry.
Thank you. Actually, here in a second page, as you see, we have objections to the correspondence theory of truth, which someone who they don't agree with that theory. They have two objections, which one of them is said that unless we have some explanation of what it is for a proposition to correspond with the facts, the theory is not very informative. And the second one is the theory is informative because the notion of a fact is absurd. As you told my friends, which I think Amreza was mentioned that we said something as a fact which it's unchangeable, and here actually it's mentioned that too, and he says that they are informative because all the facts, as we see over the time, they get changed, and when they get changed, we cannot get any knowledge of them. So they're informative, and actually they're not that much obvious. And that's it. So if you have a question, you can ask. If not, we can go to the next theory of truth.
Could you please, about the second point, I'm not completely sure that I understood it correctly. So the theory is uninformative because the notion of the fact is some sort of obscure, right? But what does that mean? Well, because for my money, I think a fact is it's just a very primitive notion. If you say what is a fact, I would say, well, this is a hand is a fact.
Yeah.
So it's a primitive. So how appealing to a fact would make a theory uninformative? I'm not really sure how that even makes sense.
Yeah, actually, I think it's as Zahra asked us, which she asked that what's a fact? And when we ask what's a fact, it seems that fact is something that that's not obvious. We cannot just say this is I don't know. We cannot be that much how could I say sure to say that this is a pen. No, maybe this is not a pen. Maybe this is something else, and we just consider it as a pen. You know,
if you're on drugs, somebody is on drugs probably.
Yeah,
this is a pen.
I can just tell something completely different about this one,
probably like if sorry.
I'm sorry, because your example is about a pen. We have a definition for a pen, and we can agree on something that we define, and it's not the correct example, I think. But what about the other things that we want to see they are fact or not?
Yeah.
Do we have a definition for a pen? I'm sorry. You say that we have a definition for a pen.
Yes, we have a definition, something that you can write with it, and it's
so I can write with a pencil, but a pencil is different from a pen.
Yes, and
I can write with charcoals, but that's not a pen. Well, I mean, I never heard of that. So you say that we have a definition for a pen, but that's very strange to me. What is the definition for a pen?
For example, we can define it as something that's created by some special materials. For example, we can define it. This is obvious, I think, that it contains ink, and it contains, yes, it's when something.
So you can write with pencils. It doesn't have any ink.
Okay,
you can write with charcoal.
We have some characteristic for some points that if all are present, you can claim that it is pen. For example, when classics define human, define animal, they claim that we can distinguish between many objects. For example, we can distinguish between animals and plants, and after that we can distinguish between human and another animals, and go forwards to define a specific human in general. Is it fact about it or not? I'm right. Am I wrong or not?
Probably, yes. Someone should say I'm wrong.
Actually, I think it's better to give another example. Sorry, Master Sadnejat, let me give my example, then you can continue. So, I think let's consider, for example, animals. Zahra told us. Imagine a cat. Okay, they're everywhere, and I love them actually. So, are they can talk with the words that which we talk with that words? Can they talk as the same as us? No. This is a fact, I think. This is obvious. If you can find a cat one day which it can talk with their words and make sentences and have prepositional and can talk and have a philosophical argument, then we can consider it as maybe, the facts are changeable. But till now, we never saw a cat which can talk and talk, especially talk about the philosophy. So that's a fact. Sorry, Master Sadnejat, you can ask your question.
Yeah, I wanted to answer Mohammed's question about the second point in the slide. I think it means that this theory does not add too much information because our discussion or our argument was about what is true from the beginning, and it assumes that the fact and truth is something clear, and our proposition should match it. But our argument was about the definition of that fact from the beginning. We are talking about this topic, and it's not adding too much to our argument or our discussion.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Master. Thanks.
Can you explain it more? Sorry, I think I didn't get it well.
Explaining the second point in the slides.
Yeah.
And I said that it means that this theory does not add too much information to our discussion, because our subject was about the truth or fact and what is the meaning of that. And it assumes that it is very clear and it is very obvious that there is a fact, and we just should, our proposition should just match it. And but the topic actually was about that. You didn't solve it. You just said something that didn't add too much value to our discussion. The second point is saying this, I think, and I agree with that.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you so much. Thanks. So let's go to another topic, which is about the pragmatic theory of truth, which we know the pragmatic or pragmatical discussions from William James. The advocates which believe in this pragmatic side of truth, they said that true beliefs are generally useful and false beliefs are not. You know, as I said that when we want to use something, we actually define it as the usage of that. But actually, this is Wittgenstein's view, not mine or William James. But William James said that when we can use something, generally it doesn't just a specific thing, when we can use it, that usage of thing can define false or true aspect of a proposition. For example, let me tell you an example, or if you have an example and you want to, you know, help me, you can tell it and I will be so thankful. Is there anyone, Master Sadnejad? Yeah, you can tell it. I think your hand is up, and if you want to add something.
No, I forgot to lower my hand.
It's okay, you can tell an example now.
I think science or engineering is an example of pragmatic. They don't. They are not trying to find the truth, and they don't even have this claim to find the truth. They just say that it works. Our formula can show the exact, for example, place of every objects in the space, and so our formulas are work and they can describe what we see, but they don't even claim to say anything about the real truth about anything.
Thank you so much. And and I continue, there are some people which they disagree with this idea, which about pragmatical side of the truth. So the critics is that even if this is so, it would not follow that we should identify true belief with a useful belief. Actually, the critics this, we cannot say that something is true because it has a usage for us. Maybe something is maybe something have usage for us, but it's not true and it's false. So we cannot identify them together. And that's it. You have a question? Anyone? No questions? Thank you so much. But actually you can ask it. I like when you ask questions. It's challenging for me.
Let me say, I'm sorry because I talk too much here.
No, that's
let me say an example from Stephen Hawking. He is not interested in philosophy, and he had the idea of the death of philosophy, and it is very famous sentence from him that he said philosophy is dead. But he is in favor of science and maybe this pragmatic theory of truth and these things. But even himself, even he had said an example, and he said an analogy, and in this example, he said that imagine you are a fish in a you are a fish in a, I don't know what is it, a fish
tank.
Exactly. You are a fish in a fish tank, and you are watching how people in the room are walking, and you find some formulas for example, calculating their speed, or at what time they will be where in which place, and your formulas are working very well, and you can explain exactly where each person is in the room at each time, but your formulas works, but it's not the truth, because you see the people moving in some round shapes because of the shape of the fish tank. Because of the shape of the fish tank, you explain how people move in some round lines. But we know that they are not walking like this. They are walking completely linear, not in round lines. And so you don't understand the truth. You have a formula which works exactly, and it is very exact, and it is very precise, but you don't know anything about the reality of moving, of the moves that these people are making in the room. And so he says that science objective is not finding the truth. It can't. It is very متواضع. I don't know what is
humble.
Yes. Yes, it's very humble. The scientists are very humble, and they say that we can't find the truth, but we can have some formulas which are very precise.
That's interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that was actually interesting, and I'm thinking about that. And can I ask it which book of Stephen Hawking you told that? Can you tell a name of book which you read it there?
No, I don't know really the name of the book. No.
It's okay, I will search it. Thank you. So the third and the last theory of truth is the coherence theory of truth. The coherence is obvious from the name of that. Advocates said that it has coherence when a proposition has a coherence with other propositions. So for this coherence, when they have a coherence, we tell it as the coherence theory of truth. If I give an example, I want to give an example from the book. If you let me tell you the page. Let me find it, and it's it's page 12. If you see that, here we have an example in the first paragraph, which I wanna just read this paragraph, the example one. It says another theory of truth is a coherence theory of truth. Not surprisingly, the concept of coherence is central to the theory. As I told you, we shall say more about coherence in chapter. For a moment, let us consider the following example that we may take to illustrate the concept. Suppose that I believe the following propositions. So the sentence number one, which here it mentioned with I, it says that I have the sense experience of something white in my hand. Imagine I have something like this, and it's in my hand. And the next sentence said that I have the experience of something around my hand. And the something, it's around, not in my hand, it's around my hand. Then I have experience of something cold in my hand. The thing that I have in my hand is cold. So the proposition, there's a snowball in my hand, coherence with the I have a sense of experience. Something is white in my hand and something around my hand, and it's cold. So it is a snowball, So this sentence, they have a coherence and they all mention one thing, which is about this one. So when we have these currents in our propositions, so actually we accept and we agree with this theory. But there are some people that critiques this theory too, which they said that the concept of currents is murky. What does it mean? So here, actually, I want to make it a little wide for you and give you more explanations. Imagine we have when we talk about a proposition in if you were a philosophy student, or if even not, I will explain it. In a proposition, we have a two side, which one side is about the syntax of a proposition, and the other side is about the semantic of a proposition. The semantic one is tell us about meaning of kind of proposition, but in a syntax, it's about structure of a proposition. So when they have a coherence, when they can match together, we can tell that they have a coherence. So here they critiques that the concept of coherence is murky. What does it mean? It means kinda when we say something is murky, it's not obvious. We cannot, see it easily or understanding easily, or kind of like this. And here it just mentioned that it cannot be obvious that is this proposition have a coherence or not. So, and the next critics theory is that coherence does not guarantee that a proposition is true. Maybe for example, we have a two proposition or sentence, and they have a coherence, but they are not matched together and they're not true. Maybe I have this thing in my hand and it's a white and it's also cold, but it's not a snowball. So they don't have, maybe they have a coherence, but actually it's not true. And that's it. As you see, here I wrote some examples for all three actual theories. So if I have a time, I can explain them. If not, I have time. Thank you. So the theory number one is a corresponding theory of truth, as I told you. We have an example from Aristotle, which he said that it's not because we think truly that you are pale, but because you are pale, we who say this have the truth. Actually it's obvious, but when I say someone, for example, you're sick, you seem, I don't know here, for example, I'm so easy. For example, I saw him and I said that you seem sick, you have a problem, or I don't know what else. And when I see that his face, that he seems sick, and if he's sick, so my sentence will be true. And another example for the pragmatic theory of truth is a man wants to go to Boston. True beliefs about which road to take are generally more useful than false beliefs, which as I actually explain it in the number two theory about pragmatic, what can have a usage for us, it can be true. So the current theory of truth, as you see, here I have a devil emoji because I want you to answer this one. So who can answer it? Like Amir Soazi or who else?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Can you give an example for the third theory? the current story.
An example for what?
For the current story of truth.
Excuse me, would you please paraphrase what you want me to take an example for you?
I think if I want to explain it more, I will just explain the,
Do you want to say?
previous-
You mean explain truth nature or something like this?
No, actually, I think you were not in class when I presented.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Or in class, I can tell this.
We are just 3 in class, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, I guess.
Can you tell this?
Always
Yeah.
here was with you, Zahra. I don't know your name. No, Samane. There's Samane.
Yeah.
This is Samane. Always
Yeah.
here was with you, but just few minutes later, one of my students takes me, and sorry for this.
You're welcome. Amireza, can you tell us the example?
Yeah, sure. I think the coherence theory says we have 2 propositions, and then the third proposition is the truth. And I have to give a opposite example or a positive example.
It doesn't matter which one you want. You can just give an example.
Okay, I can say, for example, I like a swimming pool, and I like jumping. Then I say I like jumping in the swimming pool.
Yeah. So they have a coherence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So, if you like, you can answer this question, but we are just, I don't know, 3 or 4 people here. So which one do you agree most and why so? Maybe I could ask it from our teacher.
Yeah, I mean, first I have to say thank you very much for the nice presentation. But I'm going to come to your question. Me personally, I would prefer the correspondence theory of truth. I think it's more intuitive than the rest. I mean, I consider the concept of a fact as something primitive. I mean, I understand what a fact is. I mean, that this is a hand is a fact. The cat is on the mat is a fact, and a proposition is true if it corresponds to that fact. So that for me seems pretty more intuitive than the rest. So I'm not very firm about it, but I would prefer this theory among all of these 3 theories that you just presented. I would assume that I'm inclined to think that correspondence theory of truth is more intuitive than the rest. And yeah, that would be my take. So, but just like I have a couple of points to make about the presentation. First, I think it was a fantastic presentation. Thank you very much, and I ask everybody to join me to give a round of applause for someone. I think it was great. It was a great presentation. And
thank you.
But at some point, I realized. Thank you.
It was thank you for your attention, and that attention is just go under the.
I loved it. I mean, it was great. Your presentation looked very nice. You looked sharp. You managed the whole thing very nicely. Just one thing. I mean, a couple of points that I want to make. First, when you're talking about it, you say I, 2I, 3I. These are Roman numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
These are numbers in Roman. The Roman numbers. So you can say 1, 2, 3 as well. So these are Roman numbers, basically. Second of all, I think when you're talking about the correspondence theory, it says that the mark of the truth is coherence. So basically, if you have a bunch of sentences that are coherent, well, they're true. That's true. That's true. So that brings this kind of clear objection to this view that if you have bogus, like completely fake, or let's say made up propositions that are all coherent, that's obviously not true. They could be coherent, but untrue. So coherence is not the same thing as truth. And about probably, if I want to paraphrase the pragmatic theory of the truth, I would say that truth means useful. If something is useful for us, then it is probably true. For example, we had this kind of whole example about the religious examples, the God exists, or stuff like that. So according to this kind of pragmatic theory of truth, that would be, well, if the belief in religion is useful for you, it makes you feel better, then it is true for you, right? Mm-hmm. And Bertrand Russell was a huge critic of this theory. So they never estimate the truth of a sentence or a proposition by its pragmatic side. So they could be set aside very carefully. That was actually my overall points about the presentation. I think it was a great presentation. Thank you very much for that. So it would make it hard for the other people who want to present it because they have to present at this level. I think it was great. So another round of applause for you.
Oh, thank you.
And wish you all of the best. So probably we can stop our class right now, and I'm going to stop in this. بچه‌ها خسته نباشین. برای جلسه بعدی آقای مسعود صدرنژاد میخواد ارائه بکنه و امیدوارم بچه‌ها مشکل صحبت کردن و این چیزو مثلا اون دستگاهتون رو حل بکنید اینجوری، چون این واقعا پلتفرم ما همینجوری که می‌بینید بچه‌های حامی دارن اینا رو ضبط میکنن، بعد دیگه واقعا ما نمیتونیم بریم توی پلتفرم دیگه، چون خیلی هم بچه‌ها به من میگن که آقا بریم مثلا تو گوگل میتونه نمیدونم اینا، دست من نیست. یعنی اگر من که اوکی ام، اونطور مسئولان اجرایش اجازه نمیدن، میگن که باید تو همین پلتفرم انجام بشه، لذا من عذرخواهی میکنم. یه کاریش بکنید که دستگاهتون که درست بشه. و مسئول صدرنژاد شما من پرزنتیشنتون مشخص میکنم، یه جلسه هم با هم صحبت میکنیم درباره اینکه موضوعی که باید پرزنت بکنی و اینم میشه بعد شما. امیدوارم موفق باشید تا